So at the beginning we'll have a guest from Italy, Martina Riolino. Then we will have Lenka Zorko from Slovenia, Sirli Rosenwald from Estonia, and this is going to be a speech. And then Monika Gaszyńska from Poland. I have no problems in pronunciation Gaszyńska. Some of you might have, but we will train it today. And this is going to be an interview, big pleasure of mine. But now, in front of you, the first speaker, Martina Riolino. Please join us on the stage. Applause is ongoing. Martina, piacere. If you can wait 30 seconds, I will give a little introduction about things that you might possibly miss in your project presentation. For example, listen to that. Martina, she holds not only MA in communication sciences, but also she has an MBA. She graduated from Food and Wine Business School in Bologna, in the beautiful city of Bologna. Apart from that, she's a political leader, rewarded and honored with the Order of Cavaliere della Repubblica Italiana. I think in your case it should be Cavaliera, but I'm not super fluent in Italian. Maybe we can change it, and no, there will be both genders in the title. Cavaliere. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you to Agrifood for having me here and for believing in... okay. Okay, just thank you to Agrifood for having me here and for believing in the power of women and their capacity to change and the ability that we have, and investing time and money in that. To Future Food Institute for bringing the project to life in Italy and for the coordination that they had overall through the program. To my tutor, Matteo, which challenged me and pushed me through the last months to give my best. And last but not least, my colleagues that are not here, but that I represent, because they are talented women and really creative, and they came up with amazing project that I do really hope that keep growing. So I'm an entrepreneur in the hospitality industry, and I have 2 restaurants already. One is in my hometown, which is La Spezia. It's a small town in Italy. And I opened it 13 years ago. It's a vegan restaurant, and it's a family one because I have it with my husband, who's somewhere over there in the audience to support me. And we opened another in Bali, in Indonesia, in 2019, right before COVID happened. And I'm also involved in some sort of political aspect for the hospitality industry. During COVID, the stillness of that time, I wondered and I came up with a new idea, which is the one I'm going to present, which is Zoe Food Evolution. I came up with it because I wanted to merge the sustainability of plant-based cuisine with the most loved one in the world, which is Italian cuisine. And I already do it in my restaurant, but I wanted to do it in a bigger way to have more impact in society. And the idea is to try to come up with a concept of a fast food, because fast food are often not original. They often serve the same kind of food. It's not a lot sustainable, and also it's not healthy for the consumer. So what we do instead is 100% plant-based, handcrafted pasta right on the spot. There is a window in which our customer can see all the process of the pasta making. We cook them with our own condiments, and we serve the pasta in the time of a fast food. It's a really, really fast process, but it's a fascinating one. The results, so it's a product that is more sustainable for the environment, and it's also healthier for the consumer and also good for the heart because it's really, really delicious. We talked about sustainability also before, and I think is a path. You are not sustainable or not sustainable. You only can grow towards sustainability. We try to look at social sustainability because we create an environment that is inclusive for diversity, and we try to create an environment in which people can grow. And also, of course, it's environmental sustainability. We keep a lot of attention on our suppliers. We have a very interesting project. We sell a beer that is made out with the waste of bread. And we have a project of making them a beer with the waste of our pasta makers. So it's we try to be very sustainable also in our supply chain. And we are sustainable because plant-based food is sustainable. There is a study last year, an LCA assessment study from the University College of London. They studied all the meals, meat-based meals, vegan meals, and vegetarian meals. And they came up with a number. A plant-based pasta, it's 17 times less impactful on the environment than a meat-based, the same dish based on meat. So daily, we choose to eat at least 3 times per day. And I'm really happy to be part of the last chain in the agri-food chain, the last mile, because I can offer an alternative to make people change daily the choice of food that they can taste. We have already opened our first store in Rome, and so the concept is going and is ready to scale up and be expanded in other countries, who knows, or in other cities in Italy. Thank you.
Grazie mille. Martina Riolino and her husband somewhere on the audience. Thank you for admitting that you benefit from variety of way of supporting your business and your family restaurant. If we get to La Spazia, we will definitely check by ourselves. Right now to the stage, I have a big honor to invite the mentioned female agri-food leader from Slovenia, Lenka Zorko. Please, Lenka, join me here on the stage. Applause. Lovely. Okay, we have microphone. Maybe for our guests here, if we can get few more bottles of water, in case somebody wants to have a sip, that would be really great. Thank you for joining me on the stage. And before we start, I would like to make there's 3 notes about your experience, which might not eventually come up from the dialogue we will have. So first of all, you are a digital marketer. You are a specialist of over 10 years of projects and experiences. You founded Help Snack, which is a functionality, healthy snacks. And we will be talking about that predominantly today. But as an NGO insider, I work in NGO. You are also Login 5 Foundation, and now member, co-founder, or a volunteer. What you do in the foundation? Very briefly, if you can tell us.
I was helping them to start a new project and to grow it, because this is what where my strengths are. So growing startups in the initial stages.
Lovely. When you joined the stage, I saw Alexandra and Paulina coming back from their panel about work-life balance, and seeing your resume, which is outstanding and overwhelming for a lazy guy like me. I wanted to ask you first, how do you go with the work-life balance? Working till late night, or you find time for other endeavors apart from the business?
That's a perfect start. I'm doing badly with it.
All right.
I don't think I'm the only one in this room, right? But yes, the industry, so the startup industry, the digital marketing industry, all of them are really, really intense in the demands and in the pace. But what is also important that they are mostly run by men. So I was usually one of the few females in the industry pacing up with it. But yes, I think all of us in generally would have pretty bad balance. But with like every year, with getting more and more mature, I think we are all slowly learning that it's a marathon. It's not a sprint in all industries.
So how your journey, how your marathon, or if not the sprint, looks like? An experienced manager in digital marketing has taken the role of a CEO of a startup company, and right now you are doing variety of products. Do you think that digital marketing helps managing to the managing position, or it's like nice to have addition?
I think it's very, very important, especially in the food industry, because it's one of the most competitive industries, one of the most consumer-facing industries. So I think I understand marketing in a broader sense of the empathy that we're mentioning today and connecting with people and listening to them. These are all marketing skills that I think are crucial for starting any new business in the food sector, even more maybe.
All right, we still have some time, so I will go with this question that was actually super interesting for me, because when I read the resume, and really it's not just a compliment, I was really surprised of your achievements. But now, can we have some examples about how your company helps in reducing food waste? Some examples which are easy to envision when we are listening to you.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'm doing several things
Exactly.
in the food waste area. So, yes, but maybe I think one of the, because we were already talking about the beer industry, and this is the one that I'm very familiar with, and that because we are in Eastern Europe, I think it's an appealing one to talk about, that the beer is actually just the end product is just the 15% of the ingredients that go in, and most of the rest still ends up as waste. So as we were like listening to Blaška and to all the other entrepreneurs already innovating in that space, what we are trying to do is take these mass industrial byproducts and come up with new products that can use these as functional ingredients. And I think whey is a very interesting example of that has happened in the last maybe 8 years. This complete transition, whey as a side product of cheese making that used to be going down the drains for years and years. And nowadays, there is not enough whey in the world, and it has a good price on the market, it's valued. So how can we now transfer that and make other byproducts valuable as well?
Lovely. Before we end, I know the format of 5-minute interview is a bit rushy to touch upon all of the topics that we might be all as your audience interested in, but maybe this one. You mentioned yourself that the agri-tech sector is very masculinized. Are there any like simple tips that you can give us, all of us, so that we can change the situation in next year or 2 years from now, apart from such great summits like this one where it's a huge support, but maybe your personal tips? Do you have some inspirations? How can we make it more feminine?
Yeah, just what you said. I think one thing that we didn't touch upon today yet in the discussions, and we are talking about balance, is that all of us hold the feminine and the masculine part in ourselves in different ratios. And what was really important, I worked among many very strong, powerful men, and at some points I was becoming more masculine than all of them. And I don't think this is the goal, right? For women to be successful by becoming more masculine. But I do think that right now the system is changing from the inside out as well. If maybe in the past, the masculine qualities were really important for successful business, because you could be focused, goal-oriented, go, go, go. Right now, with new complexities, with need to include more perspectives, to be cautious of more things, I think this is where the feminine qualities and innovation is being innovative and creative is one of the female qualities. And I think so naturally also now, I believe that the era of female-run businesses is starting.
It's starting now. I think we have not one political leader on the stage, but 2 already. Big applause, Lenka, Zorko.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you indeed. And now, the speech or the pitch. From not far from here, Sirli Rosenwald came from Estonia, and she will be right in a second giving you a brief perspective of her business in Estonia. So please join us on the stage, and the audience, please welcome her with applause. And now my classic question. Would you prefer to stand over there with the microphone attached, or you want to use all the stage with this microphone?
I'm good here.
You're good. Okay. So before we say bye-bye to each other for next 5 minutes, I wanted to mention a few of your achievements and background interesting points, which is, of course, Funky Foods CEO is the main role that you came here to join your experiences with us. But apart from that, you are a researcher for over 10 years. I think this 10 is a magical number. Like all of you have over 10 years experience in something. But good, good. I appreciate that. You are doing also within your research the meat replacements or substitutes, and the filaments fungi are your creme de la creme and your specialty in this zone. So the floor is yours, and thank you very much for joining us to the Walk of Eva fame.
Thank you, and I'm very happy for the opportunity to be here. Yes, so I am a food researcher in a background, and in the last 5 years, I have been working with sustainable foods, and mainly in the meat alternative category. And this is something that brought me into my path in a company called Funky Foods. And we are really trying to bring to the people a sustainable, healthy, but most importantly, delicious protein source. And when we look where we are today, then we have climate crisis. We all know that food industry, especially animal agriculture, is contributing to it a lot. And from the other side, the meat consumption is still increasing, the population is still increasing, and at one point, we don't have enough land to produce high-quality protein to everybody. So we have to come out with some new technologies to produce ourselves food in an efficient way. So in Funky, we are working with mycoprotein, with filamentous fungi. Who doesn't know these are microfungi, not the kind of that you can grow and pick under the forest, but you can find them in the soil, in the nature. But industrially, you grow it in a fermentation vessel, so it's more similar to a brewing industry. So you feed the fungi with sugars, some other nutrients, and they grow. And what's very important is that besides that this is a sustainable way of producing food, these fungi that have been selected for food consumption, they are very high in protein, and this protein is very high in quality, high absorbability in our intestines, and it also contains fibers, and fibers are also something that currently in Western diets we are not consuming enough. So I love to say that with Funky, you will get your meat and your oat porridge in one portion. And when we talk also about food security, what I love about our process is that these vessels to grow fungi, you can put it whatever place in the world where classical agriculture is not possible. So eventually you can grow your food anywhere locally. And when we started, we actually mastered the process of taking mycoprotein and making it to different food products. But today, we are following two separate paths. So we commercialize end products. We have our first prototype, which is fillet type products that has been already sold in first restaurants. But we also are developing our own mycoprotein production technology, and we are focusing to do it by using different food industry side streams. And we want to build technology on different side streams, so you can transfer technology to different parts of the world by using local side streams that is occurring over there, making the process even more and more sustainable. And regarding the EWA program, as I'm a researching background, I have no idea how the retail or HoReCa sales work. I was very pleased to have a mentor with more than 10 years in experience in food industry and knows how to do all the calculations, how to calculate the price, what are the different margins that are going upon the price when you are talking to the retailers, what are the contract conditions, things like that. So very specific and very important know-how to make us stronger, having a better position, starting to negotiate with retail and HoReCa partners. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. You already moved out from the stage. You had still 30 seconds, and I thought I will violate a little bit the rules of the house, and I will allow one question from the audience, accepting a mild punishment from both all us after the event. So if there is a question, I think we can allow it. We have a microphone. We are well armed. No? All right. So again, thank you very much, and huge respect towards the invention of using fungi as filaments for food, like meat substitutes. Thank you very much. And right now, as we spoke just at the entrance of this Walk of Ewa fame, I would like to invite in front of your eyes to this stage Monika Agaszyńska from the beautiful country of Poland. This is for you.
Thank you.
Oh, you brought something to eat. I have something for drink. We can have a good time together here.
Yeah. Let them see.
I hope you can see it in your web browsers, you internet guys, as well, because it's very well designed and it's beautiful. I also tasted in Warsaw, super tasty. One of my questions will be about economics of this, but I will come to that. Before we start, I want to introduce the very leader we have here on our stage right now. So about Monika. Well, graduated from psychology in Brisbane, Australia, came back to Europe, to Poland, to start their cheese replacement organic-based products. But you are also a traveler, you are a yoga instructor. Can you give us at least a brief information about what ignited the idea of running your own, quite complicated, honestly speaking, business, having such a diverse story? Australia, yoga, camper van.
Yeah, it was a lot of searching for my way and searching for something that is my passion. So I traveled, I tried living abroad, and I came back to run my own business with my husband. Actually, we run it together. The idea was mine, but he also helped me to actually put it on the shelf. So yeah, it started with our travels around Europe. We decided to move into a van and we traveled around, and in Portugal we found lupini bean, which is called tremoças over there. You might know it. And for me, I also am a dietitian, and it was like a game changer because it's full of protein. It's amazing source of plant-based protein, and it's full of fiber and vitamins. And I just said to my husband, like, we have to make a cheese out of it. And because it tasted also like a little bit cheesy, I started experimenting, and that's how our first two products came out after many trials and errors and experimenting, mixing, and for me, what was important was to make a product that's good for the planet, but also for our health. And it doesn't have. I mean, our first product was like really focused on that. It didn't have much fat. It was mainly lupini bean with all the spices, no preservatives, no additives, and this is what started the process of developing new products as well based on plant-based protein sources. But now we are looking into other plants than lupini bean.
Exactly. You were and still are the winner of Polish chapter of EWA program, Empowering Women in Agrifood, and you are really a successful entrepreneur already. I can go to my neighborhood and find your products in the store. The question I wanted to ask you is about the economics of this product. Do you think that the crisis, the current, let's say, crisis, war-oriented Ukrainian, the Russian aggression to Ukraine crisis, and earlier COVID and some other crises that our colleagues in the panel mentioned might make people like me, a neighbor from one of European neighborhoods, to actually go with some, old school things which are not maybe that tasty, that's beautiful. Do you have an answer to that? Aren't you afraid that price will actually diminish your market?
We fear that a little bit, but we created a product that's not too expensive, and it is a little bit more expensive than, I don't know, milk, cheese, but we want to make it accessible for everyone, and also we created new products that are even cheaper than our lupini bean products, and also we are trying to source lupini bean locally. We found already a few farmers that are growing lupini bean, the kind that we need, because there are many kinds of lupini bean. And it's very popular in Poland, but not this type exactly that we need. So we had to look for it and really try it. And it was bitter. Bitter lupini bean is also not really good for you, and you have to prepare it for a longer time. But the sweet version is... Yes, exactly, and it wasn't possible for us. But now we are actually sourcing it locally, and it looks really good. So I think this will also diminish the price of the product or increase our margin. But it's looking good.
Exactly, local. The word locally will be an entrance to the next question and the last question I have for you today, which is, we are all Europeans, and I understand that for somebody speaking about international expansion to countries like Czech Republic or Lithuania or Germany is actually like, what? International expansion is a common market, wake up. But still, what are your next steps in terms of entering new markets? Because in Poland, you feel comfortable, understood. What about new markets? Any plans?
Yes, of course. We are still trying to be more accessible in Poland. So for the next half year, I think Poland will be our market. But after that, in the mid-2024, we would like to start focusing on looking on other countries to expand to. I think first will be Baltic countries, and because they're closer to us, and maybe we can actually do it, because many countries, they have restrictions, or hypermarkets, they have restrictions regarding the certificates that we need to have. So we'll try to go closer to us first, but we do have plans to go abroad and expand and grow.
I think it's enough to say that you definitely should follow this very lady and check where the tasty Serio cheeses are going to be available next seasons. Maybe can you explain why Serio sounds particularly cheesy in Polish?
Yeah, the name comes from the word ser. Ser is cheese in Polish, and serio is like seriously. So it's a little bit of a word game. And also, if you would like to try our product, I will cut some pieces outside, and you can have a try after at some break. I'm not saying you can skip any of the program.
Monika Gaszyńska, Serio.
Thank you.